Parliament, the crucible of democracy where laws to enrich the quality of life of British citizens have been made for centuries. Twickenham, London must surely hold its breath, for living on this street is Citizen Skelt, unelected Premier of the People's Parliament. Well, Twickenham's anyway. If you have a problem that needs fixing, if you need to get in touch with your local council and don't know how to change something that really annoys you, then you need the help of Citizen Skelt. If you have a problem, she can fix it. Citizen Skelt, a housewife with fire in her belly and a mug in her hand. You won't see the Premier making a cup of tea. I've come to see her because this fearsome woman and her lot have literally changed the political landscape of Twickenham. Road humps, the scourge of motorists, and Citizen Skelt was the problem. This is the hot issue, captured on film by, yes, Citizen Skelt, a woman fighting council bureaucracy. It took 2 years to get the humps in here. Within a month, there was an outcry. 6 months later, this summer, they were gone. The first sleeping policeman to get up and walk. Citizen Skelt, fighting the council.
The humps were absolutely terrible. We did not vote for road humps, we voted for speed cushions so that all the lorries could go over, and what was imposed was actually road humps. And we had stuff crashing and bashing down all the time. It was absolutely horrendous. Over 700 vehicle movements backwards and forwards from the depot.
We were being woken up at 4:30 in the morning, weekends and weekdays, so we were provided with a list of councillors' numbers that were actually on the planning committee who put these humps in. So every time we were woken up at 3 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, we would ring one of them and just say, "Hello, I'm a resident from Egerton Road. I've just been woken up by a 38-tonner going over a speed hump. How do you like being woken up at 3?" And they did not like it.
Sometimes didn't need to get out of bed because it'd be rocked because of the vibration of the traffic.
Each week, Citizen Skelt and her kitchen cabinet would file into each other's homes to discuss progress and what to do. But why, if there was so much opposition to these humps, were they introduced in the first place?
I had a reply from Mr. Bone today.
Citizen Skelt and friends have no time for me now as they review their strategy. So I went to find out from the local council, whose depot is just around the corner. Small wonder the residents were up in arms. Bob Alker is the man in charge of transport and road humps.
I think the thing that perhaps agrees or irritates the officers most is the fact that we felt a concern initially that there might be noise problems, and indeed, in fact, if we'd been more dictatorial and not listened so much to residents, we might not have had the problem. I noticed one of the things we've been accused of as a council is not listening. And I think we listened too hard.
It's unusual for sort of councils to renege. Do you feel embarrassed by it?
Not at all. The whole thrust of our traffic calming programme is that we try to introduce schemes, in fact not try, we only introduce schemes with the support of the majority of the local residents. I mean, the level of satisfaction in most roads is that 80–90% of residents will say, "Oh, please keep them, we don't want them taken out."
What do you make of Citizen Skelt?
You become used to working in local government that the public have a right to make their views felt.
Attila the Hun, that comes to mind, doesn't it?
I wouldn't suggest making comments along those lines. I mean, she's not any different than a lot of residents that feel very strongly about a particular issue.
So there I left it. More the wiser that the humps, 8 of them, cost £10,000 to put in and £10,000 to take out. And that Citizen Skelt was one of few residents who didn't want them in the first place. Having wrestled with the council and won, how does Citizen Skelt now spend her time? She's writing a book to show how to beat the council. The book is apparently based on Chinese warfare. Chinese warfare? A few tips then, Citizen Skelt.
One is doing an official complaint. If you're not getting anywhere and you don't like the type of answer your council is giving you, do an official complaint. That would have to be registered with the council, it gets written in a book, and you have to have a formal reply, usually within 7 days. Don't accept no for an answer from these people.
Well, final question. Where does Citizen Skelt get her inspiration from then? Perhaps the former Iron Lady herself? No? The comic character Marge Simpson of The Simpsons?
There is actually a letter writing campaign that Marge Simpson done. She complained to a local television company about a violent programme, and the TV people wrote back saying, oh, just too bad, Marge Simpson, you know, we're not going to take any notice of you. And she got her neighbours to write, and then they formed a protest, and really it's an awful lot like myself and my neighbours.
So if you have a problem that needs fixing, if you want to cut past all that local council bureaucracy, then contact Citizen Skelt and colleagues. They'll fix it for you.